Hi, everybody. It is 10:30, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. I am a local expert with QuickBooks, and I specialize in QuickBooks and Intuit Field Service Management. So if you're interested in having a consultation, please contact me. My contact information is in the description below of this YouTube video. So today I am going to cover the roles inside Intuit Field Service Management. I've had a lot of questions from my viewers about, what are some of the differences when you're creating a person inside Field Service, and I just wanted to cover that today. So we've got dispatcher, field supervisor, manager, and technician. So you go ahead and you fill in the fields that are in orange. And then you go ahead and get to this part where you're specifying the role. So the difference between the dispatcher here, well, first let me tell you what each role is, and then I will go ahead and tell you the differences in user access between each of them. So the dispatcher can go ahead and create work orders and dispatch them to technicians. They can change the work order after it's been created, meaning, change any kind of details on the work order or change the schedule date. And they can absolutely change any kind of customer information inside a customer profile. But they do not have access to this brown settings tab here, which will allow you to add equipment and add services and add change your invoice template, things like that. So they won't have access to this brown settings tab, and they won't have access to this blue time card tab here to alter the time of the technicians. So they'll have access to the work order, the customer, the invoice, the reports, and the people tab, full access in all of those tabs. The field supervisor can create work orders, and so they have access to the work order tab, the customer tab, the invoice tab, the reports tab, and the people tab. Just like the dispatcher, they don't have access to the settings tab or the time card tab. The field supervisor can create work orders and assign them to technicians in the field, but they cannot, they can view customers' profiles and create new customers, but they cannot change customers. They change any information on an existing customer profile. The manager has access to all of the tabs: work order, customer, invoice, report, people, time card, and settings. And the manager can do anything and everything. They can assign work orders, they can unassign work orders, they can change the settings, they can change time, they can create new users. So the managers can create everything, do everything. And the technicians, they can only get the work orders that were assigned to them and see their own schedule, and then they can create new customers. So they would only have access to one tab, the work order tab. So just to let you know, the field supervisor, in all of the times that I've set up field service management, it's rarely used at all, if ever. I don't have anybody use that. They only use the dispatcher, the manager, and the technician here. So, and really most of the time, it would be fine to make a dispatcher, the person that's responsible for sending out the work orders, it would be fine to make them a manager, because they do need access to the settings in case they need to add a piece of equipment on the fly that's being serviced by a technician. And the dispatcher, if you just said that they shouldn't go into this time card tab, then they wouldn't. So it would be fine to just use the manager and the technician roles.